Hello and welcome to episode 942 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
What's going on?
We raised some money for Extra Life this past weekend. We did a little online race in Gran Turismo 7. First time we've tried doing something like that.
Yeah,
seemed to go pretty well. We raised a little over $1,000. So
nice.
Yeah, this is pretty great all around. So excited to keep that going every year. Probably not in December every year. That was a bit of a terrible time frame. That was my fault. But yeah, thank you everybody who participated. Thank you to everybody who donated. Yeah, it was very successful.
Nice. Cool. Well, that's excellent. Congrats to you and our listeners for their contributions. Yes. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
I am well. How are you, Phil?
Oh, I'm doing great. I didn't do anything for charity this week.
Me neither.
No.
Or last week, or the week before. Or the week before.
No.
Listen, buddy. Surly only looks out for one guy.
Surly.
Surly.
Damn right.
Oh my goodness.
Darn tootin'. Darn tootin'. All right. Well,
what's up?
I don't know.
You'll notice I busted out one of my stylish hoodies today.
Uh-huh.
It's the specific
athletic wear?
Huh?
Your athletic wear?
Well,
it's athletics doing a lot of work in that phrase.
It's an odd modifier. But it's the Pacific Northwest. We enjoy a good hoodie up in this area during this
or a windbreaker.
No, this is a hoodie.
Like yourself.
Well, that's a whole different thing. Do you call hoodies windbreakers?
No.
What a weird thing.
No.
You're just trying to sneak a fart joke in?
Yes. I don't think I've heard anyone refer to any article of clothing as a windbreaker in a long time.
It's like 1984.
But you know what? Fashion is cyclical. It'll come back.
We defeated that wind.
We did.
We fought that wind valiantly, and I think we won.
It broke.
Yeah, we broke it. We broke all the wind.
Spinal Tap finished it off for us.
Yeah.
I've never seen Spinal Tap.
Have you not?
No. Okay, well, first of all, fix that.
Yeah, fix that.
Stat. And second of all, that is actually a reference to their album that came out well after the film, entitled Break Like the Wind.
I never heard that either.
Well, there you go. Louise. I've seen them in concert.
See, look at this.
Yeah.
I've seen the Wiggles in concert.
I mean, they're roughly
3 times. I've seen every lineup.
Oh, roughly the same.
Damn.
Oh, you've seen all variants.
Oh, yeah, I've seen all
the Wiggles. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Who's the Wiggle that they replaced? They're color coded, right?
They've replaced all of them except for
wasn't there there was
one guy. Wiggle?
But there was a big controversy with one, right?
Well, there was one who was he was not. Yeah, the yellow Wiggle who was Greg.
Okay.
Had a throat issue. He was like sort of the main singer in the group.
Oh,
and he had some throat issues, so he actually retired.
Okay.
And they brought in, I can't remember the name of the guy they replaced him with, but anyway, then Greg got better, and they kind of kicked the other guy to the curb.
That's what it was.
And yeah,
and he was kind of bitter about it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Wiggles is a bit of an empire, so
right.
Yeah, but they've replaced all of them except for the blue one multiple times because they all got older.
Billy.
So Billy
is the blue Wiggle.
I don't think so.
No, that's a bunch of Power Rangers fans right now are listening and they're going, aha, I see what Phil's doing.
We're a big Power Rangers fan on this show, which is why none of us has played the new game.
You know what? I actually did play it a little bit.
It's not on the outline though.
Well, I didn't. I did not play. I only played through like the first stage. So
okay.
I didn't feel as though I had warranted enough exposure to the game to fully discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed pretty cool from the first stage. Here's a little sneak peek of what you've been playing. let's get back to what I've been wearing. My delightful hoodie here.
Yes.
You'll notice. What is this?
Oh,
what is this?
that says
you can't see
Astro
that.
Bot.
I got a microphone. This is my Astro Bot hoodie.
That's excellent.
It's got Astro Bots on
Where'd
the
you
back.
get that from? Did you, was that a fan gamer thing or a PlayStation Gear?
I nicked it when the clerk's back was turned.
You said, "Excuse me, Mr. Doucette."
Yep.
Bonk.
What is that?
Take your hoodie.
What is that over there? I believe I purchased this from the Sony PlayStation online store.
The
quite
gear
some time
store.
ago.
PlayStation Gear.
PlayStation. This is official PlayStation gear. This is technically for Astro Bot Rescue Mission.
Oh, well, it still counts though.
But yes.
Well, now that people like Astro Bot, it's probably worth some money too.
And this
Probably
one
not.
has been worn by me, only increasing its value. Tenfold.
That probably decreases it.
100-fold.
Is that the number
This
of
is my
folds in your
athletic
body?
wear. I've sweat and bled in this.
You bled in that?
Oh yeah.
I can't decide which is grosser.
I fall down a lot. My beverage of choice today.
Yeah.
It's the holiday
I love
season.
that song.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. You know this. I have
Yeah.
a soda. I have a limited edition Sprite flavor,
Oh,
and you can tell it's holiday themed. It's seasonal. It has little
Because it's
snowflakes.
green? Oh.
It's well.
there's that. That's a hint.
Whoa! I just put that together. It's got little snowflakes along the bottom of the label there, and this
Show
is
is
not
nothing
just.
but little snowflakes.
That was the
Is it
original
fl-
name of this podcast, Little Snowflake.
Is it flavored at all, or is it just Sprite with
Nope, it's plain.
holiday?
I mean,
Plain
no
Sprite
flavor.
is a flavor.
I think it's just water.
Sprite has lemon lime flavor.
It is.
Lyman.
This is Vanilla Frost
Oh,
So
Sprite.
it's
that
Gatorade.
could be interesting.
We're gonna find out. Although usually these soda flavors, they have the name. In this case, Vanilla Frost, and then they have a little description of what the flavor is. The description here: lemon lime flavored soda, natch,
Yes.
with other natural flavors. Doesn't actually mention vanilla,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is weird.
Well,
Let's find out.
only one way to find out if that vanilla is in there.
Let's find out together. Let's see. Does it have a vanilla? Oh, it does.
It has notes of vanilla.
It has that vanilla bouquet. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that actually smells pretty good.
Strong vanilla. You're not supposed to snort it,
yes.
Phil.
Let's get the other nostril there. Oh, ooh. Oh, feeling really holly,
Gross.
really jolly. Here we go.
Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
He's taking a drink. Yes.
Mm.
What's the verdict?
It tastes like Sprite with some vanilla in it. I'll give him that.
Mm.
So
Okay.
far, so good.
It doesn't work as well as vanilla Coke. I'm gonna say that.
I don't think vanilla Coke works very well anymore. I used to love vanilla Coke. I don't think it works nearly as well as it used to.
What are you
I
talking
used
about?
to drink vanilla Coke pretty on the regular, and now it's like I'll have one once in a while, and I don't even think I can finish a bottle.
Is this your tastes have changed or the formula has changed?
I think it's too sweet, maybe.
I think it
it's
might be a
Coke
little bit
with
of both.
vanilla in it.
That's
I
what I
think
mean.
it might be both, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not
I
drinking
used to
vanilla
love
Coke
vanilla Coke.
if you don't
Vanilla
want
Coke was
sweet.
after my Mountain Dew Coat Red phase.
Mm.
Yep, drank a lot of that
Got
too.
into vanilla Coke, and
Code Red is so good.
I haven't had it recently. That was all I used to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was at the office for 25 cents.
That's also true.
Man, what a deal.
Yeah.
Look how fat we are.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to.
We're all trying,
Fix
CJ. That,
that.
doesn't mean
I'm
anything.
trying to fix that. I've lost 15 pounds since.
Nice.
Oh,
November.
really?
November
From your big
1st.
fat head?
all water weight.
You almost spit up there, didn't you, CJ?
No.
Yeah. This, by the way, is not the zero variant. Speaking of such things, this is I don't
full sugar, full corn syrup. Sorry,
full corn syrup. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can thank Reagan for that.
Yes.
I'm not wrong.
God,
you're not. You're not, and also lobbyists. Let's be fair.
Yeah, let's be fair to Reagan.
Yeah, boy, we
really deserves.
We want to besmirch his name or anything.
Yeah, the actor. Remember that? That's from a movie.
That was good. Yeah,
but then restaurants wouldn't have the full sugar variant in bottles like they do sometimes. You can get the Mexican Coke. Very good.
We would have that for every beverage,
and we wouldn't have to pay more
for everything.
It.
Mexican Coke would just be
Coke.
But here we are drinking my liquid corn. It's not bad. It's not bad.
All right. Well, Phil, we have more important matters to get to.
That seems unlikely.
We do, because
I've listened to this show. I don't believe that for a second.
Well, last week, the Game Awards happened.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was the Game Awards.
Yes.
I was not able to watch it live this year.
The 10th annual
My daughter was here, and she wanted to do a movie night, and we watched Merry Little Batman and had...
Oh, how was that?
It was really enjoyable.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good.
It looks silly and cute.
It is silly and cute.
Okay.
It is both of those things. Yes. Okay. So we watched that. Thanks to a suggestion from a listener. Thank you very much again. Commenting on the YouTube video last week.
Oh, really?
And I went ahead and we watched it this week. So I watched that instead of the Game Awards.
Okay.
Yeah. But I did catch up on trailers from the Game Awards. I didn't watch the show itself, I should say. I did watch the commercials.
Okay. You watched the important part, the
much
commercials.
Like the Super Bowl, I watched the commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about some things. So these are, I don't think in any real order that we've put these on the outline.
These are order of importance.
Are they really?
No, I don't think so.
Absolutely.
No.
Yep. We have arranged these in the order that we think will be the highest grossing releases to the least grossing releases.
I take issue with that.
We had a long
issue.
We were discussing this on this is the sausage gets made part, folks.
Yeah.
We'd been discussing this on Slack for days.
Sausage gives me heartburn.
Is that right?
Almost as much as the show. Keep going.
Oh.
So we were discussing this for days to work out the exact order here. And this
is what happened.
Is with
disarray is what
came up.
Yeah, disarray. So yeah, we're just gonna
what I love is that I literally put this down in a list based on the notes that I took.
Oh, did you really?
Phil added two things to the list and just plopped them right dead center of the list.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
Fought really hard, and then CJ just did something completely on his own. It's not even the same format.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to say to you and Phil, you Greg and Phil, you and that if there was anything during the show that you want to talk about on this show, on this podcast, that you should put it down in the outline so we can go to the good parts. And you did. Yeah. And I thank you very much for doing that.
What more do you want from me?
I don't know.
I did literally the thing you asked me to do.
He added 2 items to this list.
Yeah. We're going to start talking.
Now, granted, there was some overlap. There was stuff that Greg put down that I also would have put down, but Greg, is
I ran into that as well.
Quick.
I ran into that as well.
Yeah, because you started putting stuff down that Greg had already put down.
That's true, and then I erased it.
Yeah.
Aha. But we're going to talk about, since this was at the top of the list, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Oh, and we got the video of it.
And we have the video up here on YouTube.
This is for the YouTube
This is the trailer.
Oh, sorry, I need to look over here. There it is.
You don't need to. Yeah.
No, you don't need to look at it. You've seen it.
You don't have to look at it.
But I don't need to sit here watching the trailers.
No, we
I'm
don't
really
need
enjoying
to.
it.
That's not good radio.
Well, see, here's the thing,
in
though.
General.
If I turn my head as though I'm watching the video, I can't see it because my monitor's right here.
Yeah. So this is
Anyway.
.mu and Koei Tecmo, and then the developers of Blasphemous, which I have not played.
I have not either.
I don't remember Blasphemous.
No,
But this looks pretty darn great. I mean,
it does.
yeah, I'm very curious to see how this turns out. It looks like
Yeah.
an old school Ninja Gaiden game, pixel art, kind of 16-bit-ish, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when I didn't watch the show live, I jumped in because I was out and about in that evening, and I jumped into Benjamin Rivers' Let's Watch stream, and had been asking, what did they show so far that was interesting?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said Ninja Gaiden, and I immediately assumed it was like more of
a 3D
one, 3D,
right.
like what Ninja Gaiden became.
Yes.
And I kind of immediately said, nah, I don't care, because those games never did anything for me. And then like, no. It looks like classic Ninja Gaiden. So yeah, this looks really great. Although I'm curious to see that, like, if you watch the trailer closely, you'll see that there's a kill counter that's clearly like a combo system.
Yes.
Sure.
And the way the person is playing it in the trailer, I'm curious if the combo system is going to be like just a bonus, or if it's going to be the whole point of playing. Because if it's the whole point of playing,
it can't
I'm
be
not
the whole point of playing, right?
I hope not. Because it looks good. It does look really good. But if it's like, if it all hinges on make sure you get as many kills in the combo as possible, then I'm not sure I'm going to go too
like
happy.
they turn it into like a kind of like into create stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's all like we have this kind of gimmicky battle system. And it's like the game is designed to like mighty gun volt and stuff like that.
Add that in for the people who want stuff like that.
Yeah.
But don't make everyone deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but other than that, I mean, it looks really nice. And there's, the trailer had a nice homage to the opening of the very first game there.
Yep.
So all in all, it is pretty exciting. I am pumped to play it. That's the only thing that's giving me a little bit of pause, is seeing that on the screen. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that
comes out in the summer. Of 2025. Looks cool, and .mu has certainly proven themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a publisher that brings out quality titles like this.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's move along to another trailer. This one called Shadow Labyrinth. This is Bandai Namco bringing Pac-Man to a Metroidvania style game in a very
I put this on here because
way.
I was really interested to see what you guys thought of this, especially you, CJ, because I know you're a bit of a Pac fan. So
I am a Pac fan, but I don't know that I'll play this game. It kind of depends on what the reviews are. This is obviously not a traditional Pac-Man game. This seems more like a Metroidvania, or I don't know, like they show a lot of really big enemies. Is it a side-scrolling Souls sort of?
Isn't everything a side-scrolling Souls thing?
Well, yeah, kind of, but interesting, but this is not the Pac-Man that I enjoyed the franchise.
Remember Bomberman Act Zero?
Oh my God, Act Zero.
Yeah.
That wasn't made by anyone who had anything to do with that series, though, right? I mean, they licensed the name, I assume.
I don't know.
They licensed the name? They've still published it. They still greenlit it. They still paid money for it to be made.
So watching this trailer was like a bit of a journey, because like I missed it at first. At first, they're kind of leading up to the whole, like, this is Pac-Man.
Right.
And at first it's like, it looks like this main character who doesn't look anything like Pac-Man, but almost looks like a familiar following him, that is a little yellow orb with a mouth. And then I first saw it, I was like, it kind of looks like Pac-Man. And then as it goes on further and further, it's like, oh my God, they're serious. Like, I thought it might be a joke of some kind, but no, it's literally a Pac-Man game.
And then you got the stupid
like dark Pac-Man at the end.
This hot topic version of Pac-Man.
Yeah,
I'm not into it.
I figured
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
That would be your takes on it.
Yeah.
If the reviews for this game are like, oh my God, this is the best thing to happen to Metroidvanias in years, then okay, I'll give it a shot. Otherwise, I am not at all interested.
What if the reviews say it's the best thing to happen to Pac-Man in years?
No. I probably wouldn't.
No, this is just
even
bizarre.
believe that's possible.
It's such a bizarre pairing, right? Like, this had to be pitched by somebody and then greenlit by a couple of somebodies. And
I'm assuming it was greenlit by somebody at Bondi.
Yes. And they thought it was viable in the marketplace, clearly. I'm not sure.
It probably will be.
And is this is what that secret level Pac-Man show is, right? I haven't watched Secret Level yet, but
I have no idea what we're talking about.
The little that Netflix anthology show.
Yeah. I haven't watched it.
It has like the Concord short in it, and there's like a Mega Man episode and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a Pac-Man one, but it looked all dark and edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that secretly this?
Possibly.
Ugh,
yeah.
Whatever.
I'm not into it. I like the fun, bright colored arcade.
Well, he's yellow.
80s arcade Pac-Man. I don't want to see dark and brooding.
But then he turns evil.
Yeah,
he turns
he's got teeth.
Well, yeah.
Ugh. Friggin' mall goth Pac-Man. No thanks.
All right, let's talk about this one.
What have we got?
This is Gen Design's new game. Epic Games Publishing is making it. It's Project Robot is the name of it. This is a new game from the creator of Eco, Shadow of the Colossus.
Last Guardian.
Yeah. What did you guys think of this sort of teaser? First of all, it's probably not coming out until 2028.
Right.
Can
I'm going to say something. This is going to
say it, Phil. Say it.
People are going to poo-poo me. People aren't going to like it.
Oh.
I'm not saying they're bad games.
Uh-huh.
None of those games ever clicked with me. I've tried all of them. I've put a few hours into each one of those games.
Uh-huh.
They all seem like things that I should love, but I always ended up bouncing off of them very quickly. I want to like all of them, but
the only one I didn't finish was Shadow of the Colossus.
Really? You finished the what was the third one?
Eco and Last Guardian.
You finished Last Guardian? Really?
Yes.
I didn't remember that.
I actually liked it. I think
I loved Eco. And I loved Eco to the point that even though I liked what I played of Shadow of the Colossus, but like Phil, I didn't keep playing it. Although I feel like that probably had more to do with there was something else that came out around the same time that I was more interested in. Yeah. Last Guardian, I did not like, but I still loved Eco so much that I'm willing to give anything they do a shot.
I mean, this looks cool. You know what? I love a big robot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
who doesn't?
I don't know, but I'm worried this is going to fall into another one that I really feel like I should love and end up just kind of being about.
Yeah, could be. It looks cool.
It does.
Looks very cool. Big mech.
Yeah.
We'll be playing
Big
in
mech
2028.
energy.
It's like if
Show
Giant
title.
Robo was super artsy.
Giant Robo?
Remember Giant Robo?
Yeah, isn't that super artsy? That
Giant Robo?
Maybe
the
not.
anime?
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Crush Them Now, Giant Robo?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
I mean,
kind of artsy.
This is good. This is a great conversation.
Anyway,
guys.
I figured that it would be. So yeah, we'll play this in 2028. It'll be great.
You're guessing on that year, right?
Yes, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Next update comes in 2028.
Exactly.
First trailer 2028
to Project Century. So this is the new game from Ryu Ga Gotoku, the Yakuza team.
Do they ever sleep? Like, how do they?
I know, right?
Churn out. How big is that team?
They're also pumping out the next Virtua Fighter game. Remember?
Oh, is that the studio?
Oh, they are
the new Virtua Fighter game that they announced.
Oh, damn.
So they really are just a Yu Suzuki legacy studio.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not saying that as in a negative way.
Right. How many games are they going to make per year? I mean,
I
already know Pirate Yakuza comes out.
That's what I mean.
February,
and like the Yakuza games are not small.
No, they are not.
So I just
they are not.
But I mean, I think this looks awesome. And it's not like this is anything new for that series, because I mean they've done like sort of ancient Japan settings as well, right?
Right.
So, but I think it's an interesting time period they're picking.
Well, it's like
a really good frame rate on that YouTube video.
Oh, really? Is it showing very choppily to you guys?
Yeah,
I'm seeing like one frame every 3 seconds.
Looks like it's the PS4 version.
Hey, it's looking real good from this side.
This is the best flipbook I've ever seen. I don't know how long it took them to draw that, but
yeah, Project Century. So why is it called Project Century? Because it's 100 years worth of game, or
I wonder if it'll actually be called that by the time it comes out. I don't think it will.
I'm guessing probably not.
It's going to be called Yakuza something.
Not, but the setting is supposed to be early 20th century Japan,
yeah,
right?
Like 1915, I think it said, or
yes.
Yeah.
So that's like World War I era. So
yes.
I don't know that that'll figure into anything, but
maybe.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
And I only put it on this list because you guys are such big. Yeah, 1915. I only put it on this because you guys are big Yakuza fans. So I'm just curious what you thought of it.
It does look like this is the more action oriented Yakuza combat, right? It's not. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the turn based, like a dragon combat.
Probably, yeah.
Which probably I like the turn based combat. I don't know.
They're both good.
They're both pretty good.
Your old man hands can keep up with it.
I just hope we find out one of these characters is Ichiban's grandpa.
You know, I mean, that's going to be the thing. That.
Yeah, like
you know, there's going to be not only Ichiban's grandpa, but like what other connections does this have to the rest of the cast?
Yeah. It's going to be like full on Star Wars, where absolutely everyone is you know, the only important people in the past are the people who are connected to the people in the current.
Well, and then you learn one of them is actually a time traveler from the year 2032, and it's Majima, right? And he went back to
because it would have to be Majima.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
No one else could fill that role.
No one else could do it.
He's like the R2-D2 of the Yakuza games.
Yes, pretty much. All right, we're moving on.
Turok Origins.
Turok Origins.
The only reason I put this on here is because I mean I don't think it looks particularly interesting in any other way.
Love. You know what? Go back to that opening shot.
It's the Paramount shot, isn't it?
Huh?
It's Paramount.
There's already fog. It's already full of fog.
Already full of fog.
Anyway,
it's staying true to the legacy of Turok.
The reason I even put this here was because when I tuned into the stream, this is the first trailer that played after I tuned in. And
really? Okay.
They show the guy running with the tomahawk, but you don't see his face. You're just seeing his leg and the tomahawk dangling, and a dinosaur runs by the camera very quickly. And as a joke, I said, "Oh, a new Turok."
Yeah.
And then, the
there you go.
Trailer continues and they pan up to see the guy's face. And it's like, well, he's clearly supposed to be Native American.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God, it's a new Turok. I can't believe we're getting a new Turok.
Not only a new Turok, a prequel probably, right? This
Turok
is
Origins. Let's say Origins.
Origins. So
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't look terrible.
No, it looks like a decent third-person action game. I mean, it's always someone's down for a good third-person action game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about it except that I called it. in the moment. That's all.
You
That's all
called it. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, let's move along to the next game here. Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
Yeah.
Everything old is new again.
I love me some Onimusha 1 and 3.
Those are the good ones. Wait,
Those
which one has...
Those are the good ones.
What's his name?
Onimusha?
The professional.
Oh, Leon?
Yeah. Which one has... I can't recall.
That was 3?
That was 3? Okay.
That was 3, yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I am very excited.
Jean Reno, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Jean Reno.
Jean Reno.
is how you actually pronounce it.
Gene Luck Pickard here?
Brother of Janet Reno.
Yes. But yeah, that opening bit of the trailer where you see like those little red souls kind of floating around, I was like,
it's like Onimusha.
This is giving me Onimusha vibes. It's a shame it's probably something
and then they
completely
all
other.
Gather in that gauntlet. And
as soon as they start flying in that gauntlet, I was just like, oh, we're doing it.
It looks really nice.
It really was.
Game.
I wasn't really an Onimusha player, but I mean, it looks great.
Yeah,
does look great.
Like I said, I loved the original Onimusha. 2 was very disappointing, but 3 brought it back.
It's because they had a Jean Reno.
I mean, you're not really wrong. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, that opening cinematic for Onimusha 3 is still outstanding. It is. I will still occasionally load up a YouTube video of the Onimusha 3 intro and just watch this great little 5-minute martial arts movie. It's so good. So hopefully this one is...
So Onimusha was basically Samurai meets Resident Evil, right? I mean, that's what the first game was, pretty much.
I mean, it's...
I mean, I know that reduces it a lot, but...
You know.
Or like Supernatural Japan stuff, right? No?
Supernatural Japan stuff. I think that's our episode title.
Is that not right? Some yokai.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at.
They're like demons,
like mythical demons. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
like zombies.
Hey, I wasn't wrong saying Supernatural Japan stuff.
No, you weren't wrong. You were funny.
Yeah. So, well, this kind of ties into something that Capcom has said, that they're working on reactivating other dormant IPs.
Oh, good.
Like Onimusha, and we're probably going to talk about Okami.
You know, I mean, that's great. I mean, it's something that Konami has been actively doing the last couple of years as well, it seems.
Not enough of.
It's something that Sega should be doing more of. There's
something
a lot
that
of
maybe Ubisoft should have been doing for a while.
That's it. I mean, there are some publishers out there that have decades of like hits under their belts. Like, why not?
Sega say that they're working on like
they are
Golden Axe and stuff like that?
New Crazy Taxi, and they are. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But it seems like they sort of, it goes in fits and starts, obviously. But they've got so many great IP just sort of sitting dormant, and Capcom is definitely one of those companies as well. I mean, they've been around since the 80s, so and releasing hits since the 80s. So I'm glad to see them doing that. And then of course moving on to Okami, which wasn't really much of a trailer.
No,
but
we should move on to Okami.
Hey,
hold on,
we're doing this.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about Capcom. They have a global hit in Monster Hunter at this point. They have a big hit. The Resident Evil games are also huge. But they're also doing Dragon's Dogma 2, and they're doing Okami 2, and they're doing Onimusha, and they're doing Kunitsugami. They're doing all this like weird, smaller stuff and bringing back dormant IPs. I think it's great that they are not resting entirely on the Monster Hunter franchise, which they could do. Like so many companies, so many big third-party publishers in the AAA space, Ubisoft, one of them, would just do nothing but Assassin's Creed forever and ever and ever, right? And then they brought back Prince of Persia for, one game and then disbanded that team. It's like, why can't you do what Capcom is doing? And also Capcom getting a whole lot of goodwill from all of this too.
Yeah.
Like not just good products that people are like, oh, well, I really love Monster Hunter. I'm going to try the rest of their catalog and kind of getting more out of it.
And you saw in the trailer, they made a very big deal about the original director.
Yeah.
Hideki Kamiya coming back to
didn't they
direct
actually show him in the audience?
Yes. Yeah, they did cut to him.
His new studio called Clovers.
Yeah.
Not Clover.
That's a whole
different one.
That kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't catch the S.
Yes.
I was like, wait, what?
Yep. The S is for savings.
It's true.
So please look forward.
Shop smart.
But this is good. Okami was a very good game, and it looked beautiful.
I never played very much of it.
Oh, really?
It was. I hesitate to call it a very good game. It was okay. I felt like it wasn't balanced very well.
I mean,
but the idea was fantastic.
Yeah, the visuals.
Yeah,
did a lot of lifting there.
Oh God, yeah. That's why I played it for as long as I did, because it was so pretty, and I was just sort of taken by the visuals. But
and I feel like I'm a big Zelda fan. I love the Zelda games.
Do you mean like a lot of people big Zelda fan? You're pretty tall.
No, I mean you've seen CJ.
Yeah,
he looms.
I loom large.
I'm a lumbering Zelda fan.
I'm a lumbering Zelda fan. And when people describe Okami, they're like, "Oh, this is like a spiritual Zelda game. This is very similar to Zelda."
Yeah,
and it's got a lot of that supernatural Japanese stuff in it.
I wanted to like it. I really did. I just could not stick with it though.
Hey, you know what? I was just talking about how Eco didn't do it for me. So
yeah,
what I can't.
Sometimes it happens, right?
I can't throw shade, as the kids say.
Throw shade. All right. Speaking of shade, let's move over to Screamer, which I'm pretty sure, Greg, you put this on the list.
No, I think it was probably
this one was all me, baby.
Was it really?
Yep. I love Screaming. You want to hear?
No, thanks.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. So this is actually a racing game from Milestone.
Who made the Hot Wheels Unleashed games, by the way,
among other things.
I know Phil really likes those Hot Wheels Unleashed games.
I've only really played the first one, but I did love it.
Well, the second one was just on PS Plus.
I know. Well, I got it.
You got it.
I just haven't had time to play it.
Okay.
No.
So this is actually like a reimagining of a game series from the 90s. There were Screamer and Screamer 2. Yeah, Screamer and Screamer 2 came out in the 90s on PC. Which I didn't play much of, but they're really well liked. And I don't know, I just put this on here because I really like the look of this. So it basically just looks almost like it's going to be like a Ridge Racer, but with an anime cyberpunk style
story, also, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I
this
think
has a narrative
really great.
Game.
It's got an Akira vibe to it, sort of the atmosphere of it. But hopefully Milestone make good racing games. I think the visuals in this look really nice. It definitely sort of scratching that itch. Like I said, it's got sort of Akira / Blade Runner. It's that look, and I love that look. So, I'm excited for this. I'm really excited to find out more of it. But
those cars look too much for a kid like you. Maybe after you've downed your first clown.
Akira reference.
Yes, it's good.
P-Brain.
Man, that movie loses a lot when you lose the original English dub.
Oh yeah, no,
it's
the old
not the same.
The old Streamline dub is
not
vastly superior.
Not saying it's great, but saying that it is Akira.
Absolutely.
For a whole generation.
Absolutely.
All right. Next on the list here, Dispatch.
Yes. So from Ad Hoc Studios, which is made up of a bunch of sort of industry vets, but a lot of whom were part of like The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead, and basically Telltale games that I love. And I think this looks fantastic.
I'm excited about
this too.
Yeah, this looks fun.
It looks the art style is great. The animations here look really good. I thought the jokes in the trailer were funny. So
they landed.
Hopefully,
they definitely
hopefully that
landed.
means the
just
writing
like
is going to be really good.
To
like I think it's superhero parody type stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be fun.
Didn't know anything about this coming out, and I just I really really like the look of this.
And this is not based on like an existing IP.
I don't think so
either.
I don't believe so.
Completely original because it looks
I might
great.
be wrong, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
No, I'm really looking forward to this.
It looks awesome,
and it's got Jesse in it from the Breaking Bads.
From Breaking Bad, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
it does. Aaron Paul.
Yeah, boy, that was a laborious bit when he was out on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh God!
Was it bad?
It was awkward.
It just kept going.
It was
It started out not funny, and then it kept going not funny.
It was him and who was
the actress name?
Gosh, she's one of the main.
She's a pretty prolific voice actress.
Yeah, it's like Laura Bailey or
something like that. I think that's who it was.
Was it Laura Bailey? I can't.
I don't know for sure, but yeah.
But anyway, it was her and.
I mean, these are people that were involved in games that were kind of when Telltale was at its best.
Yeah,
which I'm all in on. But then, like everything about this trailer was great.
Yeah,
completely agree.
Laura Bailey, by the way.
Oh,
what's that?
Yeah,
it was Laura Bailey.
Yeah, it was Aaron Paul and Laura Bailey doing a little shtickla. But yeah,
okay.
It dragged.
Well,
and trust me, I know about dragging a bit on too long.
So when I
no lies detected.
Merry Little Batman, I tuned in for the very end of the Game Awards and saw the last bit of this trailer, which is the new Naughty Dog game from Neil Druckmann, Intergalactic.
Kind of bugs me that a new Naughty Dog game is from Neil Druckmann, but because it's Naughty Dog.
It's Naughty Dog. He's part of Naughty Dog.
Yeah,
certainly.
But anyway, well, he's
a name that's going to get people interested.
Well, yeah, I mean, they called it out as his game in this trailer. But anyway, again, I thought this looked fantastic.
Oh, of course it does.
I liked every bit of this.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I am so excited that Naughty Dog is doing something materially different from The Last of Us or Uncharted. Like, doing something futuristic like this is absolutely like such a perfect move for them.
And it's like it's colorful, and it just looks. It looks like you said, it's such a departure from The Last of Us, which I'm so happy about. Not that I didn't like The Last of Us. I loved The Last of Us, but I didn't want them to keep doing that. And actually earlier in the night, they showed a trailer for the PC version of The Last of Us 2 remake.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, please don't let that be Naughty Dog's presence here. Like,
I know, right?
God, I want something new from them. And I didn't really want The Last of Us 3, although even that I would have been probably okay with. But then when this trailer hit, I was like, yes, like this is what I want.
This is exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020. So it's been, 4 years, 4.5 years since that came out.
When this is coming out? Speaking of Akira vibes, look at that jacket there.
Yeah, right.
But I also expect this one to be like 2028.
Well, what I might do then is wait until 2030 and play the remastered.
Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
You got to wonder because they caught a lot of flack for showing The Last of Us 2 as early as they did.
Right.
That's true.
And maybe, hopefully, they learned a lesson there. Maybe.
But you think about how long video games take to make.
No, I get that. But I mean, The Last of Us 2 came out 4 years ago.
4.5 years ago. And you assume that like pre-production on this may have begun before they shipped that. Right.
But I'm just saying that even though this is just a teaser, maybe that doesn't mean it's 3 or 4 years away. Like maybe they learned their lesson and, let's show it when it's like
if it comes
1 or
out
2 years away.
Like 2026 would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that's not really that far away.
Yeah.
We think it is now, but you blink and it'll be 2026.
I'm really interested to see more gameplay of this because, I mean, it's a lot of sword fighting from the looks of the actual action they showed at the end of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I don't really feel like this current iteration of, I don't remember if old Naughty Dog did anything like that, but this current, the Uncharted / Last of Us Naughty Dog, not a whole lot of sword play in those games. So,
True.
So interested to see what the gameplay is going to be like. Also,
it's going to be
really
exactly like Jak 2.
Oh God, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Also, kind of thought it was interesting that they're spending some money on this because if you notice, her ship, the main character's ship, has a Porsche logo on the back of it. There was a few different licensing. I think her shoes might have been Nikes. I can't tell.
They're Adidas.
But, Adidas. Sorry.
Yeah. And then
so anyway, there's
licensed music too.
Licensed music. I loved the
Pet
CD
Shop Boys.
jukebox scene. That was nice. So
another Akira nod.
Yeah. So anyway,
plus Kumail Nanjiani's in this too.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw.
Oh yeah. I will say this though: Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
It sounds an awful lot like Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy.
It's just,
I'm okay with that.
It's a terrible title. I'm not a fan of the title.
Anyway,
Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
There you go. I was happy that it was something new from Naughty Dog. Also happy that it's clearly like a heavily sci-fi themed.
Yeah.
Because that's not something they've done in quite a while either. So all in all,
but did you get Guardians of the Galaxy vibes from this?
Yes, absolutely.
I definitely did.
On the ship for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just so funny that Concord, which channeled Guardians of the Galaxy, got we all know what happened to that, and this is channeling Guardians of the Galaxy also. And
I didn't get that as strongly.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a lone person.
CJ's still mad at the universe for Concord.
What gave you the Guardians of the Galaxy vibes? That she's listening to
popular music.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Popular,
sitting on her Porsche spaceship, watching anime, listening to popular music.
Yeah.
And the dialogue had a similar feel to it, I think. But
I guess you're right. We haven't really seen any like aliens, right?
Yeah.
Or any. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool.
But either way,
anyway,
I was super excited to see it.
Yeah, super excited about this game. Whenever it comes out, however many years away it is fine.
It ended up being like April 2025, and CJ's not going to know what to do.
That would be so amazing.
Could be. Could be. All right, let's move along to the next thing on the outline, which is the Game Changer Award for Amir Satvat.
Yeah, so the reason I put this on here, first of all, he definitely deserved it. So he is kind of a key figure in basically seeing all the layoffs that have been happening over the last number of years in the games industry and working hard to try to help get people hired, help those people who are suffering from those layoffs get hired. And so pretty noble cause. I also liked this because Jeff and the VGAs caught a lot of flack, I should say, last year for kind of just not addressing the mass layoffs that the industry's been going through. And last year was a particularly bad year. And they just kind of acted like it wasn't a thing. They didn't say it wasn't happening, but they kind of refused to even acknowledge that it was a thing. So I did like that, Jeff himself leaned into it a little bit this year with this award, and that this Game Changer went to Amir.
Which are you a member of his Discord? And
I am not.
Do you follow him on LinkedIn?
No.
Just a really interesting community there. And really interesting resources for people who are in the games industry who may have been laid off. Like a lot of really, really good resources that he has been single-handedly putting together. Like it's kind of amazing.
And I mean, that was the other great part about this is that when he came up, I made a joke about how he was walking past all these people, so many of whom are partially responsible for all these mass layoffs. But Anyway, he's clearly supremely passionate about the games industry and, you know, has sort of found where he can be impactful in the industry. And I mean, he was very emotional while he was up there, which just, you know, was awesome to see. So yeah, all in all, I mean, it was a great moment. It was just a great moment in the video game awards. I love to see it. And, you know, it kind of dovetailed into, I forget the guy who was presenting the Game of the Year award. I forget his name, but he was representative of the team who won the previous year,
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, and he made a big show of saying, you know, kind of what a lot of us are thinking, where it's like these decisions made in boardrooms based on nothing but analytics, and it's all very cold, and we need to increase market share, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How much better the games industry would be if we didn't have to deal with that bullshit. Because they cut him off, they played him off last year. So he was just kind of calling out that he was just going to go ahead and say what he wanted to say last year, which was nice to see. Which, by the way, they also didn't play anybody off this year, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was a great moment. And I'm glad that they had the, I guess, courage that they didn't have last year to at least acknowledge that things are not all roses in the games industry right now. So yeah, that's why I put this on here. And Amir
also
was
the
so
fact
excited
that
to
Amir,
win.
not only is he so excited to win, but he got a standing ovation from everybody too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there are people in this audience who are members of his community and who have, you know, probably gotten jobs based off of his resources. So
yeah, no, it's fantastic.
I don't know if you've tried to find a job in the video game space.
Thank God I have not.
You go to sites like LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever, and you try to search for them, and good luck finding video game. Like if you search for video game or, you know, any platform, like you'll find engineering roles and all this other stuff. You'll find a lot of just cruft that's not at all related to video games. And it's great to have a resource like Amir's to actually be able to browse the real postings. So that's great. All right, let's move along. Team Asobi not allowed to mention Nintendo is what you said here.
Yeah,
Greg.
So getting up to accept their, obviously, and by the way, Astro Bot cleaning up at the Game Awards, fantastic.
Yeah,
which well deserved. But I mean, the name escapes me. Who was speaking?
Nicholas Doucette.
But he actually, I think he let slip that he was told that he wasn't supposed to mention Nintendo.
No, I don't think he said that. He said, "Notice that I'm not mentioning their name."
Yeah,
I mean, if you
I thought he said at some point, I was told
still
I
a competitor,
shouldn't.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm pretty sure he said at one point that he was told he shouldn't. But either way, it was nice to hear him praise Nintendo.
Acknowledge that you can take inspiration from another company's creations
for popularizing platforming games and really evolving them and perfecting them in a lot of ways. You know, he wasn't saying that they aped Mario Brothers, but he called out how
they would have aped Donkey Kong,
right?
If anything.
He called out how important Super Mario Brothers was, and that series it has been to him and to the team. He actually, you know, literally talks about getting a gray box in 1989 that came with a copy of Super Mario Brothers. So, anyways, just wanted to call that out too because I thought it was a nice moment. There were a lot of nice moments in the VGAs this year, I have to say. Overall, I think they found a better balance than they've ever had this year. I mean, you could argue about there's still too many commercials versus awards, but not playing people off. It didn't feel as cheap as it has in the past few years. That they, you know. Anyway, I really enjoyed it, and clearly there were a lot of games revealed that we all liked because holy crap, we're still going through them.
Yeah. By the way, I want that Astro Bot shirt that Nicholas has on to show up in the PlayStation Gear store, because I will buy that shirt. It's great. But all right, let's move along to this last one, Greg, that you put on here. Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah. Statler and Waldorf, their bits were great. Now, the reason I like them is, I like Statler and Waldorf because they're hilarious. They've always been hilarious. But I have to say, I think that you need to give Jeff credit because some of their jokes were, they were cutting to the bone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So right at the beginning when they first interrupted Jeff, who, by the way, not an actor. Like one of the lines was because Jeff said something along the lines of everyone in this theater is waiting to get the show started. And their response was, why isn't the theater full? We heard you always sell out. And there was a lot of that. At one point, they focused on Hideo Kojima, who was obviously in the crowd because he was there. And it's like, there's Kojima. Did you know that Jeff Keighley is friends with them? And they're like, yeah, but does Kojima know that? Anyway, there was a lot of really good lines there. And I mean, you gotta give Jeff credit for being down with that and letting them play around with them a little bit. I mean, it's totally silly to have Muppets in these things. I don't know why they do that, but if you're going to have Muppets, sure, Statler and Waldorf make perfect sense.
It's fantastic, actually.
You know why they do. Because Jeff Keighley loves the Muppets.
Yeah. Does he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Who doesn't love the Muppets? But either way, having them there was great. And letting them really sort of take real shots at him was a nice touch.
Agreed. All right. We're going to get into some of the things that I added to the
I don't know why you didn't just keep going down the game list and then come back to these last three things on my list. But anyway.
I don't know either. So I want to point out some games that'll probably no one will play these, but I'm excited about them. The first one
like Concord
is like Concord. Yeah. The first one is Midnight Murder Club. This is from Velen Studios, which they did that Mario Kart camera game, the Mario Kart racing AR game.
Oh, yeah.
With the RC car.
Yeah.
And they also did Knockout City, which is a fantastic game, that live service game, which is no longer around. It closed. But this is a deathmatch game in a mansion, and you have a flashlight and a gun, and that's it. And you if you turn off the flashlight, not only can you not see, but bits of the interface disappear too. So it's just a black screen. And all of the voice stuff is proximity based. So you enter this mansion, it's all dark, and you can hear other people talking. So I watched a couple streams of people basically doing the Marco Polo thing, just yelling out Marco. And you'd hear Polo every now and again. But I think this is a really cool idea for a shooter. Yeah, you're in a dark mansion, and you can turn the flashlight on, but then your enemies can see where you are and shoot you, or you can completely shoot in the dark, and the bullets actually have like a trace of light on them. I think it's a pretty interesting idea. There is another shooter called Blind Fire that works on kind of a similar principle, but I love the sort of 1920s, 30s mansion aesthetic of this game.
Yeah.
It's like, why are they doing that? I have no idea, but I think
it looks great though.
I think it looks great. There's a cross-play beta going on now. Plus, Valen Studios, I really like what they've done in the past. Like that Mario Kart game was really good, and I thought Knockout City and some of their sort of philosophies about game design and everything I really respect, I think are awesome. So, this comes out in February. Hopefully it'll do well, but it probably won't. And
Jesus Christ, CJ.
Because it appeals to me, and apparently now multiplayer shooters that appeal to me are not popular. So, but I'm looking forward to this one. I don't know I don't think this one's going to be free to play. I think it is going to be a paid game, and it does seem like Sony Interactive Entertainment is the publisher on this one.
So they're definitely going to kill it after a week.
They'll definitely kill it after a week. I hope not. Come on. But anyway, so then the next thing I wanted to talk about was Stage Fright. So this is the creators of Overcooked, who are doing a co-op adventure game, and apparently sort of think It Takes Two or Split Fiction, which we didn't talk about Split Fiction at all in the show yet, but so you kind of have your own split of the screen, and this apparently inspired by Luigi's Mansion, so I'm down with that.
Nice.
And it's a co-op adventure game, and it looks great. Let me fast forward to some
CJ
gameplay.
Games. Oh my god,
these are huge CJ.
CJ games.
Big CJ energy.
Yeah, big CJ energy.
Yeah. And
supernatural Japanese stuff.
Yeah, the last one I want to talk about, last game. Well, okay, maybe it's not the last game. But this also is a huge CJ multiplayer game called Thick as Thieves. This one by Warren Spector, and it seems like Epic Games is involved in it. Basically, a multiplayer game where you are trying to, I guess, is an extraction shooter. That's the genre that this is now. You want to sneak into a place, recover an artifact or a valuable piece of jewelry or whatever, and escape with it. And you can set traps and try to foil other people who are trying to do the exact same thing. And you pick a character, and they've got different, abilities and things. I thought this trailer looked really good, really interesting. I expect this game to again be something only I play or convince our friend Mike to play,
make
and then
Mike buy, and
nobody else.
It's funny to me. I have to call out because I think this every time I see a Warren Spector game is that he had that quote about how you shouldn't give credit for a game to one person, which is why what I was getting at with the Neil Druckmann thing too. But I just looked up the quote where he said, like, if anything, game development is even more of a team effort than making a movie. So for individuals to get credit for making a game is absolutely insane. And then this one is launched with a Warren Spector game. But anyway.
Well, but it's the same thing with movies, though, right?
I know.
He's a bankable name
because he called it out.
New a stealth game from Warren Spector. Didn't he do the Thief series? Isn't that one of the games that he's known for?
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see how this one does. I think it looks great. Who knows what that means ultimately? But yeah. And then finally, The Outer Worlds 2. So
Fallout in space.
Obsidian has done a number of great trailers for The Outer Worlds 2, and I love the way that this one begins, which is like a list of all the sequels that they've worked on. And then the last one is they do like 2 different number 2s, and then the last one is from Fallout.
I've done 2 different number 2s once.
Yikes.
Part 2, New Fallout 3, Part 2, New Vegas.
I got kicked out of that Target.
Yikes. But this is a gameplay trailer, and it looks awesome. Outer Worlds is like a very, again, CJ aesthetic game where it's sort of retro future vibes, which I'm totally down with. And I enjoyed the first game, although I didn't finish it. I really need to go back and finish it. It's not that long of a game either, which is weird. And then the other thing I love about this trailer, they say that it took 3 times as long to make and will be at least twice the length of the original game.
Yeah.
So funny. Such a fun little
It looks great, although it's definitely not my kind of game.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way about this that I feel about like the Fallout games, which I love the aesthetic. I love every time I see it, I love it. But it doesn't hold my interest for very long when I play it.
Yeah, I totally get that. But anyway, that was kind of the stuff from the Game Awards that we thought were worth talking about. Wow, this is a lot of stuff.
Most of the stuff.
There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff at the awards this year, I have to say, now that we're an hour and 15 minutes into the podcast.
A lot of it is that it's all coming in like 2026 though. So
that just means we get to save our money in 2025.
It's not close.
Buy our new Switches.
If that ends up happening. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's probably definitely going to happen, right?
Probably maybe going to happen.
Yeah.
Most likely, possibly.
One other thing I want to mention here, just because we got so many messages about it, is the Plucky Squire update.
Oh, yeah.
Where it has a brand new streamlined mode with less hand holding. Yes, we are aware of the existence of this mode. Maybe it'll bring me back to the game. I don't know. I haven't touched the Plucky Squire since.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It came out
because you guys gave me such crap for saying it's not very good.
Well,
and then you both like immediately bounced off it.
Well, that's because Astro Bot came out, and Astro Bot's a really good game. So,
game of the year quality, some might say.
Some might say,
maybe for some people.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're finally at what you've been playing. I think we're gonna have to skip tweets tonight. By the way.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, I was just looking at them. One of them is like a Christmas question. We get another show before Christmas.
Yeah.
Actually, both of them are. So yeah.
Yeah, we can just save those. We'll save those. Well, anyway, I'll kick us off. I've been playing more Dragon Quest III HD 2D. It's a fantastic game. I am starting to go. I'm at the pyramid in the desert, and I sort of took your advice. Well, not really your advice. You were saying that it seemed like you needed to grind a whole lot to get new stuff for your characters. So I've been basically like grinding levels before going into the pyramid. So that's what I've been doing in Dragon Quest III HD.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But it's still a fantastic game, and I love it. And I love the music and visuals, and every new city that I go to, and they do that little overview scene with the camera, and it moves over the new environment you're in, and it always looks awesome. And what a great game. All right. Then I'll move on to Marvel Rivals. I played a little bit of Marvel Rivals this week. I did play as Squirrel Girl only because so I did the tutorial.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, what support character can I play that I'm really going to like here? And I was like, all right, Rocket Raccoon. He's a support character. And I like Rocket. Rocket's one of my favorite characters in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'll play as Rocket. Played through the tutorial as him, and which is great. They offer like character-based tutorials, which is awesome. They give you like a general tutorial where you play as the Punisher. But then you can continue by selecting any character, and they'll walk you through like their special abilities and things, which is great. I think that's fantastic. Overwatch didn't do that. So a lot of games don't do that, right? A lot of multiplayer games that have characters like this don't do that. So I played the Rocket tutorial. I was like, all right, let's go to play a game. Loaded it up. Wow. Apparently, having 26 or 32 or however many playable characters they have, it's hard as shit to find Rocket Raccoon in these tiny little thumbnails. And the way the character select screen works, it's like a half circle and you have to like scroll through it. Anyway, I did not kick too quick. I was not able to select Rocket Raccoon fast enough.
Oh.
Somebody else had chosen him.
Boo.
I was like, well, damn, I went through the tutorial only to have Rocket snagged away from me. And so I picked Squirrel Girl instead.
Okay.
And played as Squirrel Girl. And it was a bit of fun. We lost.
Oh, this sounds great so far.
I know. I expected the loss, so it wasn't a surprise. But it's a pretty beautiful game. I like how it all looks. The animation's great. I like that it's a third-person perspective multiplayer game. Because you can see your character, and they do all kinds of fun stuff, and some great voice lines there. I thought, hey, it's pretty good. I'm not going to play a whole lot of it, but it's a pretty good Overwatch-ish experience. Phil, did you get to play any of Marvel Rivals this week? Good talk. All right, let's move on to the next game that I played. Let's talk about the Cabin Factory. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this genre of game that has been coming out for a while now. The first one that I knew about was called the Exit 8. Have you heard about the Exit 8?
Nothing
Do you know
yet. Nope.
what it is?
No.
Anyway, in the Exit 8, you walk through this train station tunnel.
Okay.
And it's not a very, like, you're walking towards the exit of a subway station. And there are like signs on the walls, and there's somebody walking past you with a briefcase, and there's a certain number of doors in the hallway. And the idea is you have to determine whether the hallway is the real hallway or an anomaly. And so you walk through and you start like remembering as many details as you can about the hallway. And then the next time you walk through it, something may have changed or nothing may have changed. And if the anomaly has created something that's not the correct tunnel, you have to like go backwards and start again and not proceed through the tunnel. But if there's no anomaly, then you walk through it as normal, and it gives you like it'll tell you whether you did it correctly or not. And so there's started being a genre of games that's basically spot the difference, but you're walking through a 3D environment and creepy shit happens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Exit 8. That's also, they are doing one called the Platform 8, which is a train platform instead of an exit. And then I saw this game called The Cabin Factory on Blue Sky, and very similar genre. These are also low-cost games. This one's like $3 on Steam. It's called The Cabin Factory, and the premise behind it is your company mass produces cabins for use in horror-themed amusement centers or parks. However, recently, there's been reports that the cabins that this company makes are actually haunted. And your job is to determine whether the cabin is actually haunted or it is safe to send out, which is a fantastic premise for a game. So very similar in ways to the Exit 8 or the Platform 8. You hit a button and the cabin comes out like it's been mass produced and like sits in front of you, and you walk in, and the first time you're through it, you're like just looking through the cabin, trying to notice all the different details. And the idea is if you see anything moving in the cabin, it's haunted, and you need to exit the cabin and then like hit the haunted, do not like danger, this thing's haunted, like it's a reject.
Okay.
Button. So the first time through, you're like trying to look at all the details. There's like a stuffed animal in a chair. There's like a dresser that has a photo of this Victorian looking woman who seems very stern. She has a very stern look on her face. There's like a fireplace. There's a dude sitting, like a mannequin kind of sitting at a kitchen table. And there's all sorts of creepy stuff happening in this cabin. So anyway, you exit, you hit, okay, this one's not haunted. And then it scrolls through and brings you another cabin. And basically you have to correctly guess 8 times in a row whether the cabin is haunted or not to quote unquote finish the game. And there are like 40 different anomalies that will randomly appear in your game. And yeah, that's the premise. That's the whole thing. So it's basically like an hour-long video game. But again, it's $3. So
how can you go wrong?
How can you go wrong? Right. Yeah. So, but and you can turn off jump scares too if you don't like jump scares, which I turned off the jump scares, and I was very glad that I did. So yeah, you go into this cabin and you think you've memorized all of the things that could be there, and it does the thing that PT does if you played PT, where like you turn around, you're going one direction, you like look at a thing, you go the other direction, and you turn around and something has changed. And it really like takes you aback, or like there's a character standing there that wasn't there before. It's just so like unsettling. to see. There was one anomaly where there were just huge stuffed animals in the cabin looking at me. And so I went deeper into the cabin and went upstairs and then came down. And there were two of them in the doorway, blocking the doorway, staring at me.
I can't play this.
But it's like it's freaky but awesome as well. And then once you finish, quote unquote, finish the game by correctly guessing 8 cabins in a row, they tell you how many anomalies are left for you to see. So you start again and you have 8 chances, And anyway, it's really great. I love this sort of genre of these sort of quick, creepy, spot the difference kind of games. And the Cabin Factory is a pretty great entry in that genre that I think you're going to hear about a lot coming up.
That sounds interesting. For $3, I might give that a shot.
I played it on the Steam
that's
Deck.
like $10 Canadian, but
well, it's on sale now too.
Oh,
it's on a launch
$9
sale.
Canadian.
There you go.
But no GST right now, so we're on a tax holiday right now.
Well, perfect. You should definitely pick this
liberal.
up then, or maybe I'll gift it to you.
Aw,
look at that.
You do that cross international borders?
Yes, you can on Steam. Yes, you can.
I mean, we have a famously open border, so
yeah, I've heard. But that's all I've been playing, except for the Indiana Jones game, which I also played a little of. I'll say this: yes, it does give me motion sickness.
Oh no,
I cannot play very much of it before it starts giving me a headache, like a noticeable headache.
Wow.
So I did wear my seasickness band.
Your shock collar.
The shock collar. It did work. Well, but I still couldn't play more than like 45 minutes of the game. So yeah, I got past the prologue. It got my whatever marching orders to the next thing, and then had to stop because.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's as far as you've played then.
That's as far as I played. I don't think I'm going to be playing any more of it because while the motion sickness band works, it again only works for about 45 minutes and then it stops working. And it's, you don't want to play a game where it's, is going to give you a headache in about 45 minutes.
No, that's no good.
And what it is the id Tech thing where they don't have an FOV, a field of view slider. If they had that,
I'm kind of surprised.
Probably could play this,
especially in games now, especially games published by like Microsoft and Sony in particular. There are so many quality of life options in these games. I'm really surprised they don't have an FOV slider.
I know. I'm really shocked about it too. They don't. They have an accessibility tab. And it does have a lot of things for like color blindness and like low vision users. And it has things like you can turn off motion blur and film grain. All of that's great. No field of view slider. And that is pretty much would be essential to me to be able to play this. But this is true with all of Machine Games' previous titles. They don't have it either. And Arcane as well. They use the id Tech engine. They don't have it either. So I can't play any of those games without getting a massive headache within 45 minutes.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So until they add that, I guess I'm not playing Indiana Jones. Greg, you want to talk more about Indiana Jones?
Sure. Phil, you've played this too, right?
I have.
How far have you gotten?
Not super far. Farther than CJ, just by a bit. I got to the part where you are given a new outfit.
So you're trying to be the beginning of Vatican City, basically.
Yes, I'm trying to be a little spoiler free here, but
it's not too much of a spoiler. It's not. That's like what, less than 2 hours into the game.
Yeah.
So
played through
I think I did get to that point.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I played a little bit in Vatican City.
I'm like, I'd say 1.5 to 2 hours into Vatican City now. I have to say that game starts off strong. Because you're basically playing the opening scene to Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Right.
in first person, which is what a great way to tutorialize the game. And you're going through all the beats, like staying out of the light, using the whip to swing over the exact same way they introduced the character of Indiana Jones 40 years ago is how they introduce you to how to play as Indiana Jones in this game. That's fantastic. I loved it. I think Troy Baker did an astounding job sounding like Harrison Ford. I mean, it's real close.
It's pretty good.
I think the characters look a little bit uncanny valley for my tastes, but anyway, great opening. And then you're in the university, and there's like this whole, not really a stealth section, but sort of an atmosphere building section, and you sort of get the opening story. Really love that. Then getting to Rome and sneaking into the Vatican, stealth is a pretty heavy part of this game. And what I was really taken by in that section in particular is that there are so many different routes you can take. So it's like,
are.
It's quite linear, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like
right.
it was kind of a narrow level, but because I was being sort of really thorough, I discovered so many routes I could have taken through the level, and it's like that's pretty awesome.
There's also a lot of keys to pick up and a lot of
there's a lot of to find to do. Yeah
in there.
So and my version of stealth was to sneak up behind the place was littered with fascist bodies by the time I got to the end of the level and got to the point where you are, Phil, where you meet with your friend.
I was happy you could just beat somebody over the head with a shovel instead of having
they really go for that.
The stealth thing.
So the Vatican City section that you're about to start, Phil, is kind of like the first real open world section of the game. And I've got to say, the pacing comes to a screeching halt.
Oh no.
I am like, for as much as I really liked the opening, I put the controller down the other night and was just like, I really don't like this.
Because I was really digging it.
I was too,
up to where I got to.
Yep, me too.
So,
but it's just this sort of prolonged pseudo stealth mission where if you come across any high ranking Italian officials, they will see through your disguise. And then it turns into a fight. I think the combat is really rough. Because you're basically hand-to-hand combat, and if you're attacked by more than 2 or 3 guys, you're done for. And yeah, boy, I was just wandering around this big sprawling level. I didn't feel like I had any direction. I spent way too much time staring at my map trying to figure out where the hell I was supposed to go next. Getting discovered because I didn't realize there was somebody behind me who could see me. And it just felt very not Indiana Jones-ish. Which sucked because I think they did a fantastic job in the first hour or two building that. And I was sold. I was all in. But I'll tell you, I didn't even know if I'm going to pick it up again.
Oh my.
I was so down on that game after wandering around that map for what felt like forever. And it's standard open world, go find these posters and go find this lost cat and go take pictures of this. And it's like, God, I know I should have mainlined it. And if I go back, that's what I'm going to do. But it's, in that first person perspective, I find that the stealth doesn't work the way I think it wants you to work. The game is a little buggy. In that section getting into the Vatican City, I was creeping around in the second floor. I turned this corner and I saw a guy leaning against a guardrail. So I was like, okay, I'm afraid he's going to turn around. So I ducked into a room and I'm crouched, sort of sitting right in the middle of the room. And a guard just walked right, my character was pushed out of the way. A guard just walked right past me. and didn't even see me. And then I just cut up and killed him. But, so there's a lot of that happening. And I feel in those like more linear areas, the tighter areas, the stealth kind of works. But when you get into these big open areas, it just doesn't. It's like, I was mostly just like, God, I have to go over there now. Like, man, I just want something to happen, please. So yeah, I ended up really high on that game until I got to that level, and now I'm so down on that game.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what you think. I like I said, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up again this week. I might just go back to Dragon Quest at this point.
Oh jeez.
So, which is the thing about Game Pass. I didn't pay any money for this, so why would I waste my time on it if I'm not enjoying it?
Right.
And no sunk cost here. So, yeah.
Well.
Yep.
I will continue going and see how I feel about it, but hopefully, because at least so far, I think the game does a really good job of sort of evoking the feel of the Indiana Jones movies. So
absolutely,
it feels authentic to the world and the character and everything. So I'm really hoping I continue to enjoy it, because it feels like a fun indie adventure, but
yeah,
I guess we'll find out.
Yep. The other game that I picked up this week, and there was a guy at work, actually, who is also a YouTuber. I can't remember if we've had him on the show or not, now that I'm saying that. But anyway, I've been chatting with him because I found that I've bounced off more games in 2024 than I've actually enjoyed. Games that I really expected to love, I kind of like after an hour or two, I was over it. And so we were sort of chatting, like, talking about the upcoming top 5 episode that we're going to do, or that we do every year. Like I am struggling to come up with 5 games that I want to put on that list. And I was asking, he says he was kind of feeling the same way for a lot of games, but asked him, like what have you played this year that you've been really into? And he called out Balatro.
Yeah.
And then in the Game Awards, it won Indie Game of the Year as well, but it was nominated. I think it was nominated for Game of the Year.
It was, yeah.
So it had a presence. And so I finally pulled the trigger on it because, it got recommended by a few people, saw that it was getting all this praise.
And because I talked about it on the show.
Right. So it was like
a year ago,
$16 or something like that. And yeah, man, it is.
It's also on Apple Arcade.
It is fantastic. It's really, really good. And if you describe, like, if I went to the Wikipedia page to look at the first sentence to see what the description is, a poker themed roguelike deck building game. Like that's just like kryptonite to me. Like every word of that phrase is like, I have zero interest in this game, period. And boy, I tried it, and I've already put a few hours into it, having it for a couple of days. It's really, really easy to play. You don't really need to know anything about poker. There's not really a gambling element to it at all. It's just that you're playing poker hands, but it's all about, buying jokers, which drastically change rules, buying consumables, which can, level up some certain cards, and your cards have special abilities. Sometimes you have a glass card or a stone card or something like that, and you're building different decks. And like I got into a run the other day. I actually ended up recording it. I like because it was like over an hour long. I didn't finish all the antes. There are 8 antes per run, and I didn't finish them. I haven't finished one yet, actually, but man, I was having such a good time with it. And you get a good collection of jokers there. It's like hitting. It's kind of like tapping that feeder bar, right? Like you're putting up these hands, and the points are just building up, and the screen's starting to shake, and there's like flames coming off the multiplier, and it's awesome. I love it. I'm so happy that I finally tried it. I know I came to the party very late, but it's already jumped into like my top 5 discussion at least.
Whoa.
Yeah. Man, I'm loving it. really loving it. Like I'm to the point that like in the morning before I go to work, I'm turning it on and doing a quick run. It's just really digging it a lot.
That's awesome.
Did download it on.
It is on Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I downloaded the Apple Arcade version and I just haven't.
You should try it
yet.
Inside of like 15 minutes, you're going to know if you like it or not.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give it a go.
I think there's also a game trial on PS Plus.
There might be.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fantastic game.
No, it's so good.
It's one of those games like Vampire Survivors that kind of came out of nowhere, right? From the indie scene and just kind of took over a lot of talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and it's legit good.
It is legit good. Yep. So anyway, that's it. That's what I played this week.
All right, Phil.
Yes.
It's your turn.
Okay. Well, I played some arcade classics this week. I got my copy of Taito Milestones 3.
They're only on number 3 in that series?
They are.
It's crazy.
Yeah. This is a collection, of course, of 10 classic Taito games. It's done by the Arcade Archives people.
Okay.
So
Hamster.
Yes. So they are quality emulated versions of these. This particular collection has Bubble Bobble.
It's a good game.
Incredible classic game. Rainbow Islands.
Really good game.
Which is also a really good game. Yep. He's got Rastan Saga 1 and 2.
The unlicensed Conan games.
Yes. Which are
they're pretty good.
They're okay. They're not, you know, they're okay. A game called Dead Connection, which I have not played. It's got Kadash
from Working Designs.
Yes. Working Designs released a version of this for the
Victor Ireland's Kadash.
This one has a bunch of. It doesn't have all the weird changes that he made to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's balanced.
Yes.
Okay.
Champion Wrestler, which I've never played.
Never heard of it.
A game called Thunder Fox, which I've not played. What's that?
I've heard of that before.
Thunder Fox?
Yeah. Didn't that come out as under a different name?
It might have.
Yeah, it did. It came to the Genesis. Or maybe it was just Thunder Fox.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it was released on the Genesis at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Warrior Blade, which was another one I've not heard of. And then Runark.
I always thought that was Runark.
Runark, maybe. I don't know. You and I know it as Growl.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
That was released over here as
also
Growl,
on the
which
Genesis.
That's a good game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played Growl before.
Didn't play a lot of it, but
it's a good game. It's a beat 'em up. Belt scroller kind of thing. But yeah, I picked this up just because I love me a collection of old arcade games, and I played a fair amount of Bubble Bobble this week. Played a bit of the Rastans, did a bit of Growl or Runark or Runark or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, not. I'm watching some video of this Dead Connection. That looks like it's actually pretty good. I gotta see. I didn't even boot that up because I was like, I don't know what this game is, but it's all like
new.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, right? I didn't buy these old arcade collections for new experiences. It looks like a 1920s, gangland type thing. Looks kind of neat though. Oh yeah, I gotta try this. But yes, I picked that up. So I'm just playing some old arcade classics. Old Taito arcade games are weird. They're either genuine classics, or they're some of the worst games you've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
Or they are weird to the point where they're just kind of interesting. Like this game may not necessarily be good, but it's really kind of bonkers. So I appreciate it on that level. So
nothing wrong with that.
The other thing, yeah, I mean, I obviously played indie, but the other thing I played beyond those two is I went back to revisit the newly christened game of the year, Astro Bot, for the PS PlayStation 5, because they added yet another new stage to the game. This time, in the vein of Christmas Nights into Dreams, we now have the Winter Wonder stage for Astro Bot.
Or did they sing a cool Christmas song?
They do not, sadly.
Okay.
There is no Astro Bot. I mean, there is, there's it's got music.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you're not playing
this important
stage in silence. But there's no CPU singing a Christmas carol or anything.
Aw.
Sorry. But yeah, it's a brand new stage. It is not one of those challenge stages that I know Greg hates.
Really?
It's not a speedrun stage.
Oh, I might be interested.
You know what? I definitely think you will be interested. It's a large stage, and the goal is it's just you're trying to find I believe 15 presents around this stage. It's kind of a hide and seek. There's some puzzle solving that you have to do to figure out where some of these presents are hidden. It's a very, very exploration heavy stage. And you are finding, of course, a new selection of Astro Bot characters in Sony game. Well, not even just Sony, just in various game homage outfits.
Okay.
And some new outfits for your character to wear, some new skins to unlock for both Astro Bot and for your controller ship. So you unlock new goodies that way. And I talked about this on the show before, but playing through those speed run levels, I ran into quite a bit where I would rescue some of the little Astrobots, and they would be dressed up as characters that I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. Not the case here. Absolutely not. I don't want to spoil anything if you have not.
I'm definitely have to go play this.
Yeah, if you've not seen any of the characters that you rescue here, and I urge you to not seek them out if you are going to indeed play the level, because there is more than one occasion where I genuinely kind of shouted out in a startled fashion when I rescued one of them. It was just, oh my, really? So it's worth checking out. Go,
Dr. Muto.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so CJ's spoiling some of them, I guess. We got Dr. Muto, we got Tack,
Master Chief.
We got Kaya, a lot of hurt in the belly shirts. We got all the classics. We got oh cripes, what was that? What was that game with like the rabbit and the ferret in the test labs? You remember that?
Yes, but I don't remember what the name of it was.
Well, imagine we knew the name of that game in those characters as well. Oh boy. I'm really Whiplash.
Whiplash
was the name of that game.
Whiplash.
Oh, and I'm sorry, it was a weasel.
Mm-hmm.
Weasel
Pandemonium in there?
Pandemonium Bot. What's that?
Pandemonium Bot? Bruce Willis from One.
Jesus.
I think the main character in Pandemonium was named Nikki. Is that right?
I think you're right.
I think it was Nikki and
I think it was.
And Johnny Clown. I don't remember the
Johnny Clown.
I don't remember the jester's name.
It's Johnny Clown now.
It is
Johnny Clown.
Okay. But yeah, there are some fantastic surprises in the character homages, and it's a very fun stage. Just go in, spend half an hour puttering around, and yeah, it is very it does give those kind of Christmas nights vibes, because it is very much a holiday centric level, which is very nice to play this time of year. So I was very pleased with the new Winter Wonder stage in Astro Bot. So
cool.
I believe you have to have finished the game for this new level to unlock.
Well, we've done that.
I have.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Me too.
But yeah, I checked that out, and just more Astro Bot fun for the game of the year. So that's what I've been playing and seen.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions or comments about what you may have heard on this week's show, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on Blue Sky or Threads. You can also go to our internet website at playeronepodcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. Generation 16 episodes as they happen. You'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about in this episode, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch televisions. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, I stress, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30 specific time, but rest assured that is not always the case.
Not always.
Foreboding. Maybe we'll mix it up sometimes. You'll find out. You'll find out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. We're thinking about investing in more of those little shock bracelets. We're going to slap them all over CJ's body. Maybe if we get enough of them tethered together, he will be able to enjoy the Indiana Jones game without vomiting.
Doubtful.
We'll get a few around your neck.
Here's the thing.
What's that?
Without this band on, I would definitely be vomiting, but at least it's only a headache.
That's true.
I can stop playing before I actually vomit.
We're gonna get all up his arms.
Yep.
It's gonna
be like
many
Bane when the venom system gets overcharged.
Oh, look at this.
Look
at this. You're gonna get all swole.
I'm gonna get all swole, and I'll be able to play my video games.
CJ's been watching some Batman cartoons. I don't know if you're aware.
Without my head hurting.
What we will, of course, use your Patreon funds for is to keep our show going and streaming and all that stuff. So I'll tell you what, as a thank you, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, where we play games, crack-wise, having fun doing all that stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ.
Yes.
Game this week, we got one?
We got it.
Hit me.
We did it.
What do we do? What do we got?
Well, we have a game from Hacker Alias Scoop Jessica. It is about another Xbox crossover. This one, the OPI cross Xbox nail polish collab colors.
What is OPI?
I have no idea.
Is that a nail polish company?
Apparently.
I'm not gonna delve too deep into this.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay.
I'm not going to the site. I just typed in OPI. The first site that comes up, OPI nail polish, nail care, and nail art. I'm closing that because I don't want to, I don't know if whatever this collab is, I don't want to spoil nothing.
No.
I'm not cheating, okay? I'm not trying to cheat.
Good.
I'm just trying to stay informed. Okay, so this is
cheating.
Hold on, let me get this right.
Yeah, here we go.
Reopen, close tab. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is an Xbox crossover that they've done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am looking forward to this because it sounds weird.
It does.
Okay.
I can't wait. It's gonna be good.
in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'll join you for this one.
Okay.
That will be our bonus episode this week. And if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $3 variety,
I'm hungry. Also cheap.
Satan here keeping the Christ in Christmas. You get early access to all my videos. And it goes a long way to support the show that I'm making. Hey, coming out, actually just came out this past weekend, is the 3DO, Memories of the 3DO, I guess we'll call it.
Yes.
Video. I don't know if either of you got a chance to watch that yet.
I started watching it. I've
really
not finished it yet.
Pretty much a Wing Commander episode, but it is about 3DO. So
there wasn't enough CPU box, so I stopped watching.
Yeah, I didn't mention
CPU box.
Yeah.
But you should go watch it anyway.
Okay. I'll try and get through it.
And please support the show.
There you go.
There we go. Is that it?
That's it.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
Totes, my good dude. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Absolutely. And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single darn one of you. Remember, as always, be kind. Or no, take care. No, don't be kind. I mean, be kind, but not yet. First, take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. At least twice a day. And we hope to see you next week.
Twice a day sounds exhausting.
That's too much for me.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.